What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So, Kled, this is the Noxus champion I'm going to be covering today, since today is Thursday. So this is Kled, the Cantankerous Cavalier. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to go through what I always go through, which is his bio, and then I'm going to review his skins, give you my favourite 3 skins. I'm going to go through his story, I'm going to go through any special interactions, also his spotlight, and finally I think he's got a champion trailer as well. Champion teaser trailer, somewhat along them lines. So I'm going to be watching that as well. I'll timestamp the whole thing as I always do. And yeah, without further ado, let's go. Okay, so let's kick things off with the bio. Legends of the popular folklore Kled can be traced back to the founding of Noxus, and perhaps even further still. He is an icon revered by the common soldiery, which is increasingly a cause of concern to their commanders, for there are some among the warhorse who claim to have literally served beside him. Tall tales such as the Great Hussier's victory, the return of the High General Marshal Sergant, and the Mountain Admiral abound, which strongly imply Kled has fought in every campaign ever waged, acquired every military title and never once backed down from a fight. Though the details are often outlandish and contradictory, the essence of the tales remains. Charging into battle on his untrusty steed, Skarl, Kled fights to protect what's his and takes whatever else he can. Takes whatever else he can get. In truth, the Cantankerous Cavalier hails from another land entirely, Bandle City. As a Yordle, he made his home among the proud Noxai tribes in the wake of the Rune Wars, and has never looked back. The earliest mention of Kled in historical records was the first battle of Dung. In the rusty hills of the Badlands, the warhorse of General Zavan was on the run from barbarian foes. Having lost the previous 2 engagements, morale was low. The supply train needed had been abandoned in the route, and they were a week's march from the nearest outpost. Zavan, in his spotless armour, seemed more concerned with how this would appear back home than the welfare of his soldiers, and ordered a defensive circle formation to buy himself time to think. Because this isn't gonna work, is it? This isn't gonna go to plan. Then, as the morning sun arose, the long figure of Kled appeared on the hilltop, mounted upon a desert Dracolops. This warrior's weapon was rusted, his armour worn, his clothes tattered, but contempt and anger burned in his one good eye. He bellowed an ultimatum to the barbarian horde, demanding that they leave his lands or be destroyed. However, he did not wait for the response. Okay, fair enough. Spurring his steed and screaming the charge, despite starving and furious with the general, the Noxian warhorse anger ignited at the sight of this act of bravado. They rushed after Kled as he tore into the enemy. What followed was one of the bloodiest melees ever fought on the northern steppes. The initial momentum of the counterattack was crushed beneath a hail of barbarian arrows from higher ground, but Kled fought on even after he was thrown from his saddle and his Dracolops fled. He always seemed to be at the heart of the battle, chopping down foes, kicking out teeth and biting faces. Nice. The bodies piled up around him and his clothes were soaked with blood. He screamed louder challenges and cruddier insults. Clearly this great warrior was willing to die before he ever backed down. Cowardice can be infectious, but so too can courage. Where the Noxians might have given up and fled for their lives, instead they were inspired to make one last stand. Even Kled's Dracolops returned and clashed into the barbarian's rearguard, snarling and clawing as it dived in to free its master. With his mount again beneath him, Kled became a veritable whirlwind of death, and it was the barbarians who broke and ran. Though too few of Noxian's soldiers survived that day for it to be considered a victory, Durgund was contested long enough for that word reached the immortal bastion and reinforcements were sent. We got there. The war ground on for at least another decade. Wow, decade, until the barbarian leaders sued for peace. Their strength was added to Noxus, and whatever that is again, became a foothold for continued campaigns across Dalamore and the north for many centuries to come. The body of General Zavan and his fine armour were never found. In time, countless other warhorses of the Empire acquired similar stories of Kled. It had long been said that he rides whenever Noxus marches, claiming the spoils of war for himself. Indeed, in their wake, good-humoured signs can often be found proclaiming every new territory property of Kled. Property of Kled. Okay, good. Nice start to this review of Kled. Good to see a little bit about his background as well. Interesting. You can see obviously the people that are related to him as well in terms of the content. Swain, Darius and Tristina, because they are both Yordles, aren't they? I think. Maybe in his story, or maybe in the teaser, we'll get to find out what happened to... why he's basically only got one eye. What happened to his other eye. Anyways, before we do any of that, what we're going to do now is we'll go through the skins. Let's go. Okay, so here are the skins. This is the original. So the original says, a warrior as fearless as he is Orne. Whatever that word means. The Yordle, also is a Yordle, okay, Kled embodies the fierce bravado of Noxus. He is an icon beloved by the soldiers, Empire soldiers, distrusted by its officers and loved by the nobility. Many claim Kled has fought in every campaign the legions have waged, which you find out in the bio, has acquired every military title and has never once backed down from a fight, though the truth of the matter is often questionable. One part of his legend is undeniable. Charging into battle on his untrusty steed Skarl, Kled fights to protect what is his and to take whatever he can get. So this is the base image of that there, of him on his what does it say? The untrusty steed, and it's a snapping an arrow for fun in his hand. So I think the connection to the fact that he's a Yordle, you can see there the actual butterfly in the image as well. Maybe it ties in with Lulu. But anyway, cool first image of Kled. So this next one is Sir Kled. Right, okay. So Prince Cavalier, is it? Archduke Lord Double Earl Kled, or Sir Kled for short, is a half-mad knight from the aptly named Kingdom of Kled. Love it. Which contains exactly two subjects, Kled and his cowardly avian mount, Skarl or Snarl. Together the pair ravage the countryside to reclaim Kled's land, which apparently is all land everywhere. So it's Kled's land. Nice. Look at the guys in the background, are shocked. Okay. So the next one is Marauder Kled. Yeah, this one's nice. Throughout history, the Marauders have balanced on the knife's edge between brutality and cunning. General Kled, one half of the pair that currently leads the regime, is truly the incarnation of the historic brutality and little more. If it weren't for Xin Shao, Kled would bet everything on a final bloody battle. Right, okay. Nice. So that is Marauder with a different chromas. Then the Legacy Vault we have... Yeah, instead of Dracula, it's Kledula. Count Kledula. This blood is my blood. This candy is my candy. Who sent you here? You're not real ghosts. I'm Count Baron Double Marquis Lord Duke Credula, and I'll teach you not to trick or treat on my land. And you've got everyone running. Is that a Momo there? Someone's running in the background. Or the foreground. So that is that one, and that is it. Oh, that's a shame. I was looking forward to seeing some more. So there's only technically 3 additional skins. So my top 3 are gonna have to be this one. By far is the best one. Count Credula. Kledula is number 1. Number 2 is Marauder, and number 3 is Sir Kled. So that was pretty quick actually, that one. Shame that he hasn't got any of the skins, but yeah, they're my 3 skins in order as well. So I'll tell you what I'll do now is let's go for the actual champion teaser. Let's go. I love the music. Oh. Oh. Oh, is that a gun? What a shot. Okay, what a great teaser. What a great champion teaser. Not only is the music perfect for what is going on in the scenes, and more importantly, his character. But this last shot here, for starters, yeah, that's a smoking gun. I didn't realise that Kled, one of his weapons was a, yeah, kind of a, well, I don't know what type of gun that is, but a gun in essence. Old style. And then the shot here is great, and it's pure destruction everywhere you look, and he doesn't care. Him and his, what's it called? Snarl. I'm going to call it Scarl or Snarl. One of the two. He's beast of a friend. They don't care. They don't care about what's going on. Love it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, what should I do next? I think I'm going to move on to, let's move on to the special interactions. Let's go.
Drinking from battle? What kind of dumb crap is that?
Absolutely love his voice. Love it.
Telling people
Love
you're
it.
a god? Hell, you're barely a paring knife. Something caught in your throat because you sound desperate. You may be from Noxus, but you ain't Noxian. Don't mess with Noxus, brother.
Okay.
You know I like you, brother. As much as I can like a lily-livered jungle sniffer.
Lily-livered jungle.
You sure you're Noxian? You look a little Ionian to me. Watch your stepping! That's my land you're gallivanting on! He died as dumb as he sounded. And he ain't even had the indignity to call himself a demon. Never had much to say, but I'm sure glad we shut him up. Girl was all messed up. I mean, before we killed her. Snake for legs. Crazy. I guess it's snake dinner tonight.
Snake dinner. Okay.
Was that lady half snake, or that snake half human? She is confusing. Dead, but confusing. Hey, lizard food! What exactly was you general of?
Lizard food.
Nice axe! Learn to use it! Death by my hand! He wanted to unify Noxus. Guess that makes me a secessionist. Kled! Nah, it's just Kled. Who wants some Kled? This is where Kled shines! Scarl, you eating good tonight.
Scarl.
That girl's got some meat on her. And you thought I talked? That girl's got some meat on her.
You eating good tonight. That girl's got some meat on her. Oh, I love it. Love it.
And you thought I talked crazy. I gotta stop the mushroom juice. I swear that girl had some tentacles or something. Bye-bye, fancy pants.
I love his interactions. So good.
Hey, fancy pants.
Fancy
got your
pants.
cloak dirty.
Calling Jin fancy
I don't
pants.
know what he was. I
Nice.
just needed him to shut up. I can respect crazy, but what kind of fool reloads in the middle of a fight? A sinister blade? Heck, girl, Scarl's got farts more sinister than you was. I like a girl with moxie. No, obviously she didn't have any. That's the darn point. Humans is such easy prey. She had one crazy get-up. Them city folk clothes is getting ridiculous. Yeah, I'll try it on later. Go back to Noxus Prime! All your little city girl dreams just got stomped. We wrecked that thing! Damn varmint left holes all over the yard. Queen of what? Darn thing made Scarl look smart. Pure Noxian girl. Almost liked her. Almost. Seem to have lost your bounce, girl. All that hippie hop getting on my nerves. How many times do I gotta kill him? I know!
More than once.
Too stupid to live, too dumb to die. I don't think you can eat that one. He looks a little overripe. Huh. I liked him better when he was alive. Tactician. More like bird brain. Master Tactician? He can keep that title. He gonna taste good deep fried.
What kind of swain skin's that?
I figure he gonna taste like chicken. Sure. Well, that shut him up. Finally, some silence. I knew he was a liar, because he used them big words. I've seen some dumb outfits, Scarl, but a cape made out of knives? Woo! That took the cake. Another dead city boy, thinking he could sneaky sneak on my land. Let that be a lesson for all them sneaky sneaks.
Sneaky sneaks. Oh,
Just
Timo.
because we was kin, don't mean I ain't feeding you to Scarl.
Ooh, we're kin. Okay.
Hey, cuz, glad you came to visit. A relative's just another unwanted guest. Afraid I had to cut your visit short. You ain't cute now! Oh, you were so cute! Before I ripped your fuzzy head off! I could feel bad about killing you. Or we could stomp on your corpse!
Whoa.
You was cute. Lousy, but cute.
If you run, you won't see me stab you.
So, that's what's considered funny in the city, huh?
If you run, you won't see me stab you.
I got a joke too! It's called me kicking your teeth in!
If you run, you won't see me stab you.
That it? That was your joke, huh?
If you run, you won't see me stab you.
Was you making fun of my Scarl?
If you run, you won't see me stab you.
Real funny! Knew a funny guy in the Drekken campaign. Took a javelin in the spine. Couldn't walk after that. Used him as a coat rag.
Better dead than dumb.
Say that again! I dare you.
Better dead than dumb.
So she does.
Them's fighting words! See, Scarl? That's why I don't like people.
Better dead than dumb.
Shut your mouth hole! Them badgers are listening.
Better dead than dumb.
I'm just a yordle standing in front of you, asking you to shut the hell up!
Better dead than dumb.
Of course you realize this means war. I keep my eyes open all the time. Whoops!
Right.
Looks like I accidentally stabbed you with my long axe. Until you were dead!
This guy. Taps.
You were a visitor, now you're mulch. Scarl, that was what we call a predictable scenario. I told them what was gonna happen if they came onto my land. Next time you visit, bring more stuff I can take. I might be a deranged lizard-riding bandito, but I whooped you real good.
Real good.
Now, I might have overreacted to you unlawfully entering my property, but I don't think so! I warned him! I did warn him! It's funny, because he died right on the border of my land, and more of my land! Glad you could visit. Don't let the door hit you on your way to hell!
I've heard that one before.
They never learn. Tried to bushwhack a bushwhacker. That learned him real good. We didn't come here to teach lessons in humanity. Y'all made a nice stabbing bag.
Stabbing bag.
Killing makes me thirsty.
And hungry.
Nothing like a river of blood to send a message.
This guy's crazy.
You know, a long time ago, being crazy meant something.
Here we go. Wow, yes, I can confirm that he is absolutely tapped. Love his interactions though. Some of his interactions are really funny. Really, really good. He was smiling throughout the whole thing. So, now we've done his special interactions, let's move on to his champion theme, and then I'll go on to his story. Let's go. Right, let me pause it quickly here, say a couple of things. First thing, the opening sounds from the music. The opening 35 seconds of this theme sounds a lot like Bilgewater. For me personally, it sounds like a Bilgewater theme. But I also like the animations. I like how you've got the helmet here with a cross through it saying, in essence, do not enter. And you've got all the helmets there, kind of like skulls behind. So no doubt this is Cled's land. And he's patrolling it with his trusty steed as well. Like I said before, I wonder if we'll find out maybe in the story what's happened to his eye and what happened there as well. You can see he's got a sky down his mouth, so maybe kind of similar to Katarina. I wonder if Talon was involved. Anyways, let's carry on. Yeah, that's Bilgewater, hands down. I mean, I can hear Noxus in there as well, but okay. It's okay. So, yeah, it's okay. But for me, this is, if I had to guess, this would be a Bilgewater theme. You can kind of hear elements of Noxus to it as well. It's kind of similar to the previous Noxus Champion themes I've heard, but it's mainly, for me, Bilgewater. Also, it's almost 3 minutes long, and this drop in the middle, for me, doesn't really do anything. This drop in the middle was about 30 seconds. It doesn't really do anything because then it builds back up to what you had before. So yeah, it's okay. It's a decent looking theme, but there's better ones. Let's put it that way. There's better ones from Noxus, never mind in general. Anyways, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue on and read his story, and who knows, we'll find out. Like I said, I keep going on about this damn eye. We'll find out what's happened to his eye, I hope. So, without further ado, let's start off, or let's continue with this story. So, for the story, where the Dracolops roam. So, this is actually from the teaser, or the teaser, the Champion teaser. This is that epic scene right then from that. So, I wonder if actually this story is regarding that as well then. We shall find out. The Northern Steppes ain't the place for fancy undies and golden piss spots. It's tough land. Ain't nothing go here but barbarian raiders, poison grass, and harsh winds. Okay. To survive, you gotta eat rocks and crab lava, and I'm the toughest, meanest, killingest bastard in these parts, so I figure that makes these plains mine. Yes, sir. But how did I end up here, and why am I alone with your dumb yellow hide? I said it aloud, starting it off again. Scal snorts her response from the rocks she's sunning herself on. Her scales in dark metal with hints of gold. Ain't nothing can break that Dracolops' skin. I've seen a steel sword shatter against her leg. Don't make her fart smell any better though, and calling you a damn coward, you got something to say about that? Griefalag. Okay, it says as it looks up and yawns. It was a hooked grouse no bigger than my hand and you run. Darn dumb stupid animal. Griefalag? Snarl asks as it swats the flies away from its half-opened eyes. Oh good, retort, yeah, real funny, right, ha ha ha, I'm damn tired of your heretical pontifications. I should leave you here to die, that's what I should do. You die your loneliness, hell, you wouldn't even last a day without me. Snarl lays its head down on the rock. There ain't no communicating with her, I should forgive her, but then, and no doubt to mock me, her whatever that is, splutters rhythmically as she breaks wind. The smell hits me like a frying pan. That's it, you bastard. I'm throwing my stinking hat on the ground and marching away from the campsite, swearing I'll never set eyes on that far-mouthed Dracolops again. Of course, it was a good hat, so I have to trot back and snatch it off the ground. Yeah, keep sleeping, you lazy flap rat. I says I walk away. I'll do the patrol. Being 10 moons from the farmstead don't preclude doing the patrol. It's my land and I aim to keep it that way, with or without that treasonish list's help. Okay. The sun's dragging its way down the horizon by the time I reach the hills. This time of day, the light plays tricks on you. I meet a snake who wants to discuss pie crusts. Really? Except it ain't a snake, it's a shadow of a rock. Okay, damn shame. I have some drone-specific notions about pie crusts, at least when I remember what they were again, or they are again. I ain't had a proper conversation about that subject in years, like you do. I'm about to take a swig of my mushroom juice and explain my views to the snake when I hear them. Drakehounds howling and braying. It's a sound those beasts make when they's herding Elmarks, and it's their Elmarks. Then if there's Elmarks, then there's humans, and those humans is trespassers. I scramble up to a nearby boulder and check north first. The rolling hills of my grasslands is empty. I love how it says my grasslands. Save for the iron boots scattered across the horizon. The brain sounds might be the mushroom juice playing tricks on my head, but then I turn south. There is about half a day's walk from the hills, 300 Elmarks grazing on my land. The Drakehounds circle around the herd, but there's no horses. A few humans walk around them on foot. Humans don't like walking, so it don't take a genius to figure they must be part of some larger convoy then. Of course I'm a genius, so that was easy to figure. My blood begins to boil. That means more damn trespassers disturbing my peace. Here when I was about to have a lovely conversation about pie crusts, okay? With the snake, I take another sip of the mushroom juice because that's obviously going to help, and head back to the campsite. Get up, lizard, I say as I grab my saddle. It raises its head, grunts a response, and returns to lying in the cool grass. Get up, get up. Get up, I yell. There's trespassers invading the peaceful serenity of our environs. It looks at me blankly. I forget sometimes she don't understand me when I'm speaking. So when does she understand? I buckle the saddle onto its back. There's humans on our land. It stands and its ears perk up nervously. Humans. That word is it knows. I jump into the saddle. Let's get those humans, I roar, indicating our southward destination, but the damn beast immediately starts going north. No, 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 that's the way, that way, I say, using my reins to pull on the cowardly beast back in the right direction. Griefalag, the Dracolops cries as it kicks off. In an instant, she's running. The insane speed of it makes my eyes close. Scrub grass whips painfully against my legs. A cloud of dust billows behind us. What'd take me half a day to walk is past before I can get my hat tied down. Wow. Griefalag, the Dracolop screeches. No, don't be like that. Weren't you saying you wanted company last night? Okay. You know what? This has got to be on it. This has got to be the champion teaser. Definitely. The sun is just starting to dip below the horizon when we reach the herd. I slow Scarl to a trot as we approach the humans. They'd already started a fire and have a stew going. Nice. Hold, stranger. Show your hands before you approach, a human in the red hat says. Their leader, I figure. I slowly take my hands off the reins, but instead of putting them up, I pull my long axe from the saddle's loop. So he's definitely not surrendering. I don't think you understand me, old timer, the human in the red hat says again. His fellows ready weapons, swords, lassos, and dozen repeated crossbows. Griefalag, Scarl growls, ready to leave already. I got it under control, I tell my lizard before turning my attention back to the humans. I ain't impressed with your fancy city folk weapons. Now I'm giving you one warning. Get off my land. Or else. Or else what? A young human asks. You boys best know who you're dealing with, I say. This is Scarl. She's a Dracolops and I'm Cled, Lord Major Admiral, here we go, of the 2nd Legion's Forward Artillery Cavalry Multiplication. Several of the humans start snickering. I'll learn them soon enough once I'm done talking. And what makes you think this is your land? Asked the human in the red hat. It's mine. I took it from them barbarians. It's property of Lord Vakhul. He was granted it by the High Command. It's his by rightful dispensation. Well, High Command, why didn't you say so? I say before spitting on the ground. The only law of true Noxus respects his strength. Preach. I'm sure Darius will confirm that as well. He can have it if he can take it from me. Ooh. You and your opponent had best be moving on while you still can. I forget sometimes humans don't like us when we see them. It's the last straw though. Charge, I scream and snap the reins. The Dracolops kicks off and we rush towards them. I meant to make a clever retort first, but I got ahead of myself. The humans let loose their first volley, but Snarl raises her ears like giant bronze fans. They shield us from the crossbow bolts as the crossbow bolts ricochet off her impregnable flesh, which is also impressive by the sounds of it there as well. She roars happily as we dive. Yeah, this is definitely the teaser. She roars happily as we dive through their camp at the leader in the red hat. Swords clang against Snarl's hide while my axe swings. I turn 2 of them humans into confetti. What a way of putting it. The bastard in the red hat is quick. He ducks under my blade as we pass by. Another volley of crossbow bolts hits us. Snarl screams in fear. Damn thing's unkillable and immortal but easily spooked. Problem with magical beasties, they don't make no damn sense. I yank the reins and we ride back into the middle of the humans. I easily killed the rest of his men, but the red-hatted bastard's a tough one. Got some skills. My blade slams into him, but the blow clangs dully against his heavy breastplate. That should give him something to think about anyways. That's when the ballista fires. The bolt is longer than a wagon. It smashes into the Dracolops, knocking my long axe from my hand and sends us rolling to the ground. Snarls ain't hurt, but she shakes me off the saddle and runs for the hills. Great. You ungrateful bastard. We had the Frazer Gimps in the Razor boats. I meant to scream more insults, but my words started tripping over themselves. I roll to my feet, dust and grass cover my face. I throw my hat towards the cowardly lizard's path, then turn back and kill the man in the red hat. Okay, but behind him on the hill line is another 100, wow, of the humans. Iron warriors, blood runners, and wagon-mounted ballista. Red-hatted Blurf herder brought most of the legion with him. You ain't nothing but a darn sneaky sneak, I scream. You don't look like much, he says, but I guess you're the one who's been giving Lord Valhall's ranchers so much trouble. Valhall ain't no real Noxian. Your lordship can kiss my lizard's puckered mud flap. Maybe I'll let you end your days in Lord Vakul's fighting pits if you can learn to keep your mouth shut, which I'm sure he isn't going to do. I'm going to rip you, there we go, I'm going to rip your lips off and use them to wipe my butt, I roar. Here we go. I guess he don't like that cause him and his 100 friends start running at me, weapons drawn. I could run, but I don't. They'll pay dearly to kill me. Red Hat's fast, he's nearly on me before I can recover my weapon from the ground, but blade is high. His blade is high, he's got the killing stroke, but I've got my hidden scattergun. Right, this is what we saw also in the in that video as well. The blasting sends him to the ground, it knocks me back too. I tumble low, end over end. The single shot buys me time, but not much. The blood runners are closing fast, their hooked blades is redder. I'm gonna die in this turd stain. Well, if it's my last stand, might as well make it look good. I dust myself off as the first line of blood runners attack. I'm carving those dark magical bastards apart, but they're cutting me to ribbons. I'm beginning to tire from the effort and loss of blood. Then the Iron Warriors scream their battle cries as they charge in the thick black armour. They split into two groups doing one of those pincher manoeuvres. Plan on using those two walls of metal to crush me flatter than a Noxian coin. Damn it. Any hope I've got of surviving this is gone unless, I've got a feeling, here we go. And there we go. And that's when I see the most loyal, oh right, trustworthy, honourable. Interesting how it's changed. Now she's the most loyal, trustworthy, honourable friend an undeserving bastard like me could ever have. Snarl. Riding like hell towards me. I said Snarl. Is it Scar? It's Scarl, isn't it? It's Scarl. Gotta be Scarl. Faster than I've ever seen her run. A rooster's tail of dust shooting up behind her. The damn lizard even picks up my hat on the way to me. How courteous. I run to her just as those black-clad warriors are about to crush me. I leap into the saddle and we circle around the Iron Warriors. There'll be time to kill them after we get rid of this ballista. It's been a while since we took on a whole army together, I say. Griefalag, Scarl screeches happily. Back at you, buddy, I say with a smile wider than a Croaxor's. Because there ain't nothing I love more than this dang lizard. That was good. Yeah, that was a really good story and ties in nicely, clearly, with his champion teaser as well. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish off with his spotlight. Let's go.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Kled, the Cantankerous Cavalier.
What the heck you doing, Scarl? Get back in there!
Kled is an ornery little guy. Always a rabble-rouser.
Who's talking?
In his old age, he's gotten even more violent, crazy, and eccentric.
Hey, you, shut up! Lily-livered fungu sniffer!
Of course, those characteristics only make him more
I love his
beloved by
voice.
the soldiers of Noxus.
Love his voice.
Legend holds that Kled has fought in every campaign ever waged by the Noxian legions, acquired every possible military title, and has never once backed down from a fight. It's hard to tell if those stories are true, but one thing's for sure. When Kled decides to charge into battle, somebody's gonna die.
Yeah, someone's gonna die. Someone.
Kled's passive is also his one true friend in the world, Scarl the Cowardly Lizard. Scarl has its own health bar and takes damage in Kled's place. Any bonus health Kled picks up through items, runes, or masteries applies specifically to Scarl's health bar.
Oh.
Kled and Scarl have a complicated relationship. The Cantankerous Cavalier always wants to go ham, but Scarl is a little less courageous in the face of danger. Whenever Scarl's health bar gets depleted, the spineless critter will flee the battle, leaving Kled to fight alone.
Scarl! Scarl! Where are ya?
While he's dismounted, Kled won't have access to some abilities and deals less total damage, but he gains extra range on his auto attacks and extra movement speed while heading toward enemy champions or after successfully attacking them. All's not lost when the lizard leaves. After a moderate cooldown, Kled can rebuild Scarl's courage, which is tracked by a secondary resource bar.
Right.
By attacking major objectives like turrets, epic monsters, and champions, or by last-hitting minions, he'll inspire his cowardly companion to return to the fight. If Kled is able to remount his untrusty steed, he'll get a portion of Scarl's health back. Returning to the fountain always brings Scarl back as well. Kled has two separate Q abilities, one when he's mounted and one when he's on his own. When he's riding Skarl, he'll be able to throw out his Bear Trap on a rope. When Kled hurls his deadly hillbilly contraption, it damages all enemies it passes through and clamps onto the first enemy champion hit. Tagging an enemy champion with the Bear Trap tethers them to Kled. If unbroken after a few seconds, Kled reels in the rope, pulling the enemy toward him while applying a slow and a nice chunk of damage. If Skarl has fled the scene, Kled throws away his bear traps and unholsters his pocket pistol. His diminutive Derringer uses an ammo system and damages the first enemy's hit in a cone while knocking Kled back in the process. Pocket pistol is Kled's only tool outside of basic attacks for restoring Skarl's courage, so use it wisely because each bullet that hits enemy champions will bring Skarl back faster.
Okay.
In lane, Bear Trap on a rope is like a big hug for your lane opponent. The tighter you squeeze, the harder it is for them to get away. Use it to keep them in lane until they're really, really comfortable. Pocket Pistol's knockback effect is also the best way to run away from a fight, if you absolutely have to.
Run away! Kled don't run.
Kled's W is a passive ability, Violent Tendencies, that works the same whether or not Kled is mounted on Skarl. Whenever he attacks, his Bloodlust triggers, increasing attack speed for the next 3 attacks. The final Frenzied Blow deals bonus damage based on a percentage of the target's maximum health. Use it or lose it. Whether you get through your frenzied attacks or not, Violent Tendencies will go on a short cooldown before it can be triggered again.
Okay.
When laning, try to save the empowered attack. You never know when Kled will need to jump into a fight because a Poppy got sloppy.
Like this. Oh, been up.
Kled's E is Jousting, and it's only available while he's riding Skarl.
I knew you couldn't quit me, Skarl.
The Yordle Lizard duo quickly dashes, damaging all enemies in their path. If Jousting hits an enemy champion, Kled gains a short burst of movement speed and a small window to reposition for another tilt at the same target, again damaging everything in his path. When combined with Bear Trap on a rope, Jousting makes Kled obnoxiously sticky, even for champs with a whole pile of dashes and dodges at their disposal.
Oh, that voice in my head won't stop making god-awful buzz.
If you're going in deep, Jousting also works as an escape, but be careful, you can only keep Jousting while you're in the saddle.
Okay.
Kled's ultimate ability is called Charge!
Whoa!
When activated, Kled and Skarl hurtle toward a target location, dodging around terrain, building up a shield, and massively boosting the movement speed of allies in their wake. Skarl homes in on the first enemy champion encountered, ramming them to deal a percentage of the target's max health and damage, which increases the farther Kled has traveled. Together, Kled and Skarl make for a rather unstoppable force. Neither crowd control nor the player can stop them during the ultimate.
Right, okay.
The range on Kled's ult is big, like half the map big. It hits hard and fast and can't be cancelled once you've activated, so if you're going ham, make sure you're ready to go whole hog. Pop your ult to charge into the fight and reclaim your territory.
Nice. Okay.
Thanks to Skarl, Kled has a stronger than average early game that he can use to his advantage. Here, he jousts twice through the transforming Gnar, dodging minion aggro and wallop on the return trip. When his foe turns tail to run, Kled chases with a tether from Bear Trap on a rope unbroken by dismounting. Kled can use the dismounted movement speed he gains and a timely flash to stay in range for the final shot.
Got him.
When Kled drops to low health, offense can be more effective than defense, as Kled can embolden his Craven companion and get Skarl's second health bar back by fighting.
Oh, gotcha!
Here, Kled displays his Violent Tendencies to Kale, then kites back with Pocket Pistol. Kled steals himself, flashes into melee range, and hits all the Pocket Pistol bullets, just barely maxing out the courage meter, regaining his reptilian buddy at the last possible second. Kled isn't just about slaying opponents, he's only about slaying opponents. When Victor finds himself trapped between Malphite and a river wall, Kled jousts in to capture the rock type with a bear trap on a rope and melts him down with violent tendencies. Thanks to his incredible stickiness, Kled can make almost all his flash plays worth. Kled tags Nami with the red buff slow before sticking to her with another joust, turning her into fish food for Skarl. Still, Nami is a strong counter to Kled in the right situation. Kled lines up a near-perfect ultimate, but Nami takes her revenge with a well-timed tidal wave. Kled cannot stop or cancel his ultimate, so he's all in from the word go.
That's
With his team swept up behind him, Kled and Skarl find themselves up the creek without a paddle, and Nami's payback...
The other thing is, I bet that ultimate gets you into more trouble than almost any other I can think of.
Leaves the duo sleeping with the fishes.
That example there, I bet that happens quite a lot. I bet it does.
When Kled decides it's time to charge, enemies need to protect their backline. Bigger frontline tanks can body block the dynamic duo during their rampage, keeping Kled at a safe distance. When you don't, your squishies will be squashed in an instant. Kled speeds Annie up to promptly delete Caitlyn. Even after the initial barrage, remember that the wake from Kled and Skarl sticks around for several seconds. Here, Kled runs back in to catch Ziggs, proving once and for all who's the craziest Yordle. Woo! Noxus, baby! Yeah! Thanks for tuning in to the Kled Champion Spotlight.
And that is the end of that. So yeah, that kind of nicely wraps it up for the champion review on Kled. Really good champion review. His voiceover and his interactions are so funny, so good. But yeah, that's kind of it for me today, guys. And this one, hopefully enjoyed my thoughts and reactions to Kled, the read through on his story, his bio, the skins, the spotlight, special interactions, and also his music theme, which was okay. It was okay. And if you did, feel free to let me know. Feel free to like, comment, and maybe also subscribe for more content like this. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.